What's up, good people? It's your boy, Bro Troy, aka Mr. Y4C, but better known as Coach TJ, and we are right here. Oh, I'm Bro Troy.
Bro Kirk.
Bro Smith.
And we are the
Bro Code.
We actually got it right that time.
We did. That's the first time.
That's
not the first time.
That's all right, man. So, welcome back to the Bro Code Show, fellas, man. It's this is our year-end review. You know, here we are at the end of December. You know, when we started this journey back in June of 2020, Father's Day of 2020, going virtual. And tonight we get a chance to chew the meat and spit out the bone, which is what we always say, but we get a chance to do it amongst the bros, right? Just us. And really talking about all the greatness, good, bad, ugly, blooper reels. Yep. You know, some of those moments that we were like, wow. And talk about some of those things that have manifested, you know, just over the last year of us doing this type of work, man. So, really quickly though, when we talk about who we are, when we talk about this thing called the Bro Code Show, it's designed to amplify the voices of others, to speak life into the community, and to live by a code of conduct that we treat towards all people. Before we move forward, man, I really want us as bros to talk about what that looks like to us. Now, before we do that, we got to pay the bills, and I didn't do this in the beginning, fellas. This show is sponsored by Papa Murphy's Take and Bake Pizza. Make sure to visit your local Papa Murphy's Pizza retail store near you and load up on fresh, made-to-order, gluten-free take and bake pizzas, desserts, and salads. Use the mobile app for faster service and to earn additional savings.
Love it.
Everything out the way, right?
Yeah, pay bills.
So the Bro Code, you know, for me, if you don't mind, man, when we talk about the Bro Code, let's break that down. I definitely want to hear from all of you guys. Very simply, the code is something, or standard, right? It's a measurement that we hold ourselves as men. It becomes that, and that's amongst all people, right? Not just those that look like us, don't look like us, gender, whatever that may be. It becomes a Bro Code when you find individuals that are like-minded, share the same standard in that code that we talk about, therefore making it a Bro Code. So this platform here is all about sharing that code with all people. But tell me more, man, when you think about the Bro Code, Bro Kirk, man, what comes to mind?
So I keep going back to, and appreciate it, I keep going back to respect. It starts with me, self-respect. Yeah. Right? And then, like you said, of all people, I was curious when we talked about the Bro Code, how that would come across to a woman. And you quickly said, no, it's not a man thing, unless there's two men. Right. But yeah, respect, man. Like, it's just a respect.
Yeah. And treating people with dignity.
No matter what. And, you know, it's funny you say that. I don't change the way I behave because of what somebody else comes at me with. Even though I don't like how they treated me, I move the way I move, right? Now, in proximity, we may not be having a good relationship. Sure. So I'm not going to change the way I move tomorrow because of how somebody treated me today. Yeah. And I see a lot of people doing that, and that's one of the things I would stand on.
I look at it as those set of unwritten rules. Yeah. You know, what you do when only God's watching type things that applies to all people. It is the way that we should behave. It's the way that we should behave at all times, regardless of circumstances. But unfortunately, that code needs to be instilled and strengthened in people, because much like we're learning across this journey, we don't know everything, and you know, we need others to illustrate what that code might mean to them, so that we can amplify our thoughts on that equation.
I can dig that, man. One of the words that resonates with me when I speak in Bro Smith is accountability, right? And really holding ourselves accountable to whatever standard, goal, or structure that helps us amplify the greatness that's within us. And that is what exemplifies through a spirit of excellence through this thing that we call the Bro Code, right? In that mission, and as we move forward in the structure of our conversations, it strikes on three pillars: the code, the community, and the voice.
Right.
I admire you so much, Bro Smith. Excuse me.
But I appreciate that.
I'm over here looking at you. Right?
I'm shaking my head like, yeah. And
I admire both of y'all. And there's no need, but you know, Bro Kirk, you always talk about being present. You know, and in our conversations, we always talk about being present. And I think part of that is that level of respect, right? Because listening, we always say this, is a skill. And to do that, you definitely have to be present. You have to be there in that moment, with whomever, whether that be a homie, a friend, lover, relationship, whatever the case may be. So, as we continue our conversations moving forward, that voice, the community, and the code, that is our mission. Now, that mission is surrounded by 5 pillars of conversation. And I want to just take the opportunity for us to really talk about what that is. So as we're coming into 22, the listeners and the viewers know what to expect from the Bro Code, right? The voice, the code, and the community. So what comes with those conversations, now that we know those are the pillars of our mission, what is our pillars of conversation? So one of them is health and wellness. Nothing new to us, right? And in that category comes physical, spiritual, and financial, mental wellness, excuse me. That's right. But what does that mean to you, man?
Well, it was cool that we got to start off with a 4-part series on the method to the madness. You all know at the beginning of the year, much like everybody's rewriting rules, rewriting who they think they are. Me personally going through all sorts of personal issues and things of that nature. And so for us to plug in and really tap into what makes us us and start to listen to ourselves a little bit, that was important. And being able to break that down into all sorts of components over the course of the year to learn how to better manage our money, better manage our time, our health, our relationships. I learned quite a bit throughout the, 5-6 episodes that we dedicated at one point.
4. Yeah, I think we did 4, one on each pillar, and just bringing in individuals that were quote unquote subject matter experts or have lived experience in that. Dive into the theme. Like this month, fellas, it's all about I Love Me More. This is a self-love wellness series. Further dive into this month's topic, which is self-love, I Love Me More. Tonight, we have the pleasure of chopping it up with a young lady who turned her adversity into opportunity. Now, Dr. Brittany Cofield Poole was diagnosed with Graves' disease, an immune system disorder that affects the throat glands. Now, Dr. Britt added yoga to her self-care regimen, and over time, the power of movement added in helping her to create a stronger body and, more importantly, a healthier mindset. Now, fellas, help me welcome Dr. Brittany Cofield Poole to the show. Dr. Britt, how you feeling? What's going on?
What up, bros?
On the one hand, it's difficult to find someone that looks like us that can deliver such a regimen of activities to help us with the things that we're going through. And on the other hand, we're not necessarily one to seek it. There's certainly been a stigma. I'm sure you're quite aware of going to therapy. It's difficult to evolve in a culture that believes prioritizing mental health is a weakness. Troy was speaking on the diagnosis of Graves' disease, so I'm curious to get kind of what were some of your initial thoughts, and how did that initial shock of finding out that you had that disease transition into adding yoga to your self-care regimen?
It's a manageable chronic illness, but it would be terminal for me if I'm not compliant with my medication. So for me, it was a strange, because I'm 29 years old, I'm just finishing my PhD, and all of a sudden my mortality is in front of me, and it rocked everything. It was very traumatic. It rocked my self-esteem. It rocked my view of what safe felt like. It made me really reevaluate what was important to me, and really reevaluate the way I wanted to live my life. Accomplishments is what gave me my drive, and I had to be still. I was forced to be still, and I wasn't used to that. It is something that has changed me forever, and I had to learn what a new normal was, because the version of me that lived and breathed before that no longer existed. Everything about my life had to shift, and it's still shifting, right? 5 years later, I'm still learning how to honor this body. I'm still learning how to forgive it for doing something that I couldn't control. And that was another thing, right? Understanding that we think we're in control until something teaches us that we're not.
Second pillar is community engagement. And like for us, that's almost through our veins, right? When we talk about in the community and really serving. creating that servant mentality, the heart to serve others, and putting other people's needs before your own wants. That's an act of selflessness. So when we talk about community, we have to start with Y4C.
Yeah.
You know, the work that we do as Baldhead Greatness starts with the work that we do with children, you know, underserved, you know, some may say at risk, but we truly believe words matter, and really loving on these babies from the age of 7 to 18 through life skills, character-based education, and physical activity. I have to ask, you guys, we've been on that journey of mission-driven work since June of 2017. So as we come into 22, it'll be 5 years. I'd just love for us to reflect on a moment, like, what does that mean? And that's just one piece of a bigger puzzle. But let's start there. You look like you're ready, sir.
Yeah, he was ready.
Nah, man, it's been a blessing and a humbling experience just to see it grow. From being in a one room inside a church that you shared with your pastor to expanding that into the community and the barbershops, to going to farms and doing great work from that location, and adding all sorts of sports, from boxing to wrestling to basketball to football to golf. At one point, we were even thinking about equestrian type stuff.
Wait, but Jay was like, hold on, Jay, like, wait a minute, you sure? That was funny.
But I've got an opportunity to live my childhood almost over again, to where going fishing, for example, is something that I never did with my father or with anybody outside of a stick in a puddle somewhere. But the wrestling, getting to tap back into my old Al Bundy stories, and
at NC State too.
He took it serious. Jay was going hard.
And so it's just amazing to see where it's gone, and the fact that it's really not slowing down. The community is starting to really build itself around us, get engaged with the work, and they're giving extra arms to make some of this work possible.
Many hands make light work, man. Indeed.
I think the main thing, man, is I remember seeing you on Facebook in 2017, and you were by yourself. And to see JC come aside, we talk about collaboration, but come alongside, and then I come alongside, and then the other pieces that are in the ring. But Jay hit it. It's almost like I'm reliving some of the things that I needed for myself, but also dually being able to serve these kids, right? And so it builds capacity within inside of me so much.
Yeah, I love that. When we talk about impact, and when we talk about really loving on these children, self-awareness, we've said this before, Bro Kirk, is one of the greatest gifts there are.
Yes.
When you understand who you are, whom you are, and whose you are, you understand more closely of your why. It makes time that much more intentional. Right? So let's dance on that just for a minute, man. When we talk about, that's one of the words that we brought into 21. So let's talk about, man, what are some things that worked well for us as servant leaders, right? We talk about the community side of it, but you can't pour from an empty cup. So when it comes to being intentional, what are some things you guys intentionally worked on this year?
For me, I knew I needed to get back into diving into certain books. The pandemic gave everybody a whole assortment of new time on their hands, but I did most of my reading in the car and listening more so than reading during audiobooks. And I realized that, man, it's gotten into February, March, and I haven't done my book a month, just sitting in traffic, getting through chapters. And so I picked up the binders and actually flipped open some books and took the time. Other pursuits, music and trying to get some businesses off the ground or started. It's been a busy year, but it all really started back with me sitting back and carving out at least 30 minutes a day to read something, whether it's a publication, a news article, a book that I've been wanting to read or listen to, just so I can stay in tune with voices outside of what's in my own head.
So intentionality with the resources you see and hear and pour into your spirit, man. I love it. How about yourself, Wilfred?
Yeah, being present. Going back to self-care. And for me, wanting so much to impact people that I say yes when I really mean no. And so what rooms do I need to be in this year? And not that not everybody's not important, but sometimes I would look back on it and I had nothing left to give. And so now more intentional with if it's a yes, it's a yes, and if it's a no, it's really a no. Because and not that I don't mean well, but I need a no for me and my family, So saying no.
I think for me is one of my greatest desires for this year of 21 and wanting to accomplish is to become a man. I know that there's a mantle on my life. I know that there's something bigger than me that drives me every single day. And you always say this, Kirk, and I've repeated it several times, your blessings come from people. So learning how to manage, motivate, encourage, inspire, and find the best in people is what I've been working on most in 21. Because you said, hey man, there's bigger things to come, but that never is going to happen alone. And for that really, really to get the fullness, and we talk about this thing called abundance, right? That's going to happen from a collective effort.
You must have been working, because I look on your social media and I'm like, man, is there anybody that this guy isn't a friend? Like
it doesn't matter.
What was the MySpace guy? I'm like, well, that's Troy right now. Like he's linked up with everybody. Tom,
Yeah. To whom much is given, much is required. And I was telling a young person earlier, and I think this resonates well with us, and I'm sure it will with you guys. The greatest gift God could give you is influence. Power of influence. To be able to inspire, to encourage, to walk in any room and suck the life out of it and pour back into it things of joy, things of encouragement. So it's almost like being a light. Right? It's like a moth to a flame, burning by fire. That's me. Right? No, that's Janet Jackson. But nonetheless, if you're just checking into the Bro Code Show, we are doing a recap of 2021. We're live right here with the bros. I'm Bro Troy.
Bro Kirk.
Bro Smith.
And we are
Bro Code.
We'll be right back. This show is sponsored by Papa Murphy's Take and Bake Pizza. Make sure to visit your local Papa Murphy's Pizza retail store near you and load up on fresh, made-to-order, gluten-free take and bake pizzas, desserts, and salads. Now make sure to use that mobile app for faster and to earn additional savings. What's up, good people? It's your boy, Bro Troy. We are back here on the Bro Code Show doing the recap of 2021 with the bros. We talked about a lot, fellas, but we got to finish these last two pillars, man. So as we bring it back and we're talking about the voice, the community, and the code as our mission, we're now going over our pillars. We already talked about health and wellness. We've already talked about community engagement. Now love and relationships. Now, you know, this one right here, we've danced a few times, but man, you remember that time? Bro Kirk over here, he was excited about that thing. Eyebrows went up because he got a chance to say Virginia live.
That was nice.
I think that was with, was that the international?
Yeah, from New Zealand.
We went international.
Where's she from?
From New Zealand.
Wow.
Fellas, help me welcome Meg Coe into the show. Meg, what's going on? How you feeling?
Hey, welcome. I'm so honored to be the first international guest. So pleased to join you here.
Yes, sir. We are Black History, Meg, and we are setting it right now on 2/14/21.
Yeah, well, I've never been introduced as an intimacy guru before. That's a first, so thanks. I don't know if I'm a guru, but I definitely love the topic and have some skills there, so I'm happy to have this conversation. I guess my greatest pain is what I have worked out of. You know, they often say that your mission can come out of your greatest pain. And for me, growing up in a conservative Christian environment with purity culture, so that real abstinence only, strong focus on modesty. A lot of that environment contributed to how I felt about myself sexually. A lot of the confusion that I felt as I then went on and got married. I was told that if I did everything right, then I would get married and it would be all rainbows and butterflies. And then I followed the rules. I got to my wedding as a technical virgin. Well, it's not, technical. And then when I got there into my marriage, even though I had a husband who I loved, over the period of, 8 to 10 years, the first 8 to 10 years of our marriage, I realized that, wow, this isn't quite what I thought it was going to be. I realized I had a lot of repression. I had a lot of shame around sexuality. I'd repressed my sexuality and my voice in that area for so long that just getting to the altar and saying yes didn't mean that I was automatically in a space where I would feel good about sex, even though it was now kind of allowed, quote unquote allowed. And then my work has grown out of that space because I realized that I wasn't alone and that this was a very common story for very, very many women, especially women in the church. And so that's kind of how I wound up here.
Wow. Now, man, I wish we could get into that technical virgin comment more, but we may circle that around at some point. But
May Cohen over in New Zealand on a virtual show, and got a chance to shout out good old Virginia. That's all right. 2022, man, we're definitely gonna be packaging things differently, moving forward towards 10 to 12 episodes per season. And even moving forward to being intentional and doing somewhat of what we did virtually, where each month was a theme. And then we would bring in speakers or those that were passionate about that theme to really chew the meat and spit out the bone. Yeah. Now, as we shift, right, and speaking about the code, the voice, and the community, and hitting these pillars of conversation, now packaging whole seasons that will take those themes, right? So,
like Netflix?
Hey, man, I speak it all day long, man.
So they can just binge it?
From Netflix, like that. And beyond, right? All everything, man. Why not, right? Why not us? We serve too big of a God to think small. So indeed, man, keep speaking that. That's good stuff. So one of the fourth one is entrepreneurship in business. Now, all of us get excited about this because all of us are in that. It's part of who we are. It's our DNA. It's innate, right? It's inside of us. Well, sometimes we call it the hustler spirit. Right?
That's right, hustler's mentality.
Indeed, right? Well, what are your thoughts on that, man? I think a few of the conversations I remember. Got to talk about the big homie, man. Like, we have 3 cats that are doing great things as it pertains to entrepreneurship, giving a platform for others, and really doing it for the culture. Right? So we got to shout out big homie, the Cheese, right? Mr. Big Cheese, Emmanuel.
Yeah.
Poobie Chapman.
Yeah, we'll give us his government name.
Yeah, he gets every bit of it. Shout out to Poobie and the table over there off of Hill Street, man, doing a great work.
First of all, thank y'all for that introduction. That intro is big time. I appreciate that. But I'll say the core of me, who I am, to the core of me is I'm a fan of people, of things, of ideas. I'm just a fan. I think that speaks to the table and where we are now, which is part of the reason of like what it means. Is like, I feel like everybody brings something to the table. Everybody, no matter who you are, where you're from, what you do, you bring something to the table. You know what I mean? So like, I think that comes from me being a fan. Literally just me looking at people and like, yo, you're a dope writer. Like you write really well. Like, how could you expand that? You're a dope, whatever it is that someone does, I'm a fan. You're a great barber. Dag, I think that's dope. I don't undermine or see anything less of what someone does, except for like, I see you at the highest power. So that's where the table comes from. I think that's who I am to the core. I think Big Cheese is my only nickname. Poobie is my name. That's my name. When I walked across the stage to graduate college, they said Poobie. Yeah, you know what I mean? So that's
Did they write it on the diploma?
Nah, the diploma
Okay.
But that's the next step. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, either way, I'm Emmanuel Chapman III. I'm named after my father. And his name is Poobie as well.
But wait, let's back up. So we talked to him virtually and in person, right? And we've probably seen him in person like 10 times since those conversations. But he didn't have the table before. So that's a big deal. I mean, he was talking about it. Now we see it. We were there. We shot with him. So
And coaching at Inlet.
which we need to go to a game too.
That's true. That's
We're
going
going
to
to a
come.
game.
Forward to it. We'll see.
We
later
coming.
on.
Now, you know one person, actually two people I can't forget because they're close to us. You know, Lori with Blackology.
Lord Jones, right?
That's right.
Coffee.
And Morgan Cook because the van that you be sprinting around here every day is tagged because of his work.
That's good.
Yeah. Shout out to Morgan Cook, man. Morgan Cook, for those who don't know, MCK Creative. To your point, Bro Smith, he is the originator of the Alphabet Project.
Yeah.
So Alphabet has 26 letters in the alphabet. He is using that as what do they call it, a scavenger hunt or a way to get people out in the city and learn new things, exercise, you know, and just get out. I think he's done 9 letters. He's the gentleman that has the big E, I believe. Is it an E on the side of the Lincoln Theater off of Blunt Street?
Yes, in North Hills.
Downtown Raleigh, North Carolina.
Yeah.
Another one in North Hills, and there's several others around the city. However, what you were speaking of is part of YM4C's creative arts program, if you may, and did a series that turned this donated white van that was once blue and painted white. Right?
The AC, don't even give me on the
We don't
AC.
talk about the AC, man. We hotbox.
We need your help.
Appreciate that. YM4C.org. Hit the donate button.
Somebody donate a van.
We appreciate that. Real talk, though. I'm not playing.
Yes,
please.
please.
But we took that van and turned that into a blank canvas, and now Morgan came in and took spray paint, right? And took the word that we call our young men, which is king. Stands for kind, intelligent, noble, go-getter. That's what they are. They're kings. And painted that, put a king on the side of it, and then decorated all the way around. And definitely a staple. It is a billboard, a riding billboard now of the work that we do.
That's right.
Yeah.
So definitely love that, man. So when you think of entrepreneurship, when you think of business, like what comes to mind? Is there any episodes that really stuck out to you?
Johnny Hackett. Oh man. You know what? A couple of things. First of all, he's all about collaboration.
Yeah. Shout out to Johnny.
Right? Right in the center of the city, downtown. You know what I love about Johnny though? He's himself.
Yeah.
I saw him speaking. Well, he had an
Double
engagement,
Trump.
right?
Yeah,
he had an engagement the next day, but he had a above the rim jersey on.
Yeah, that was funny, man.
Bro, I love that.
Back, we actually interviewed Johnny the day before
Innovate Raleigh.
He went
right?
to Innovate Raleigh
Yeah.
and really got a chance. It was really, I love that question too when he was asking us, like, what is your thoughts on education at home? Which one holds more value as it pertains to the nourishment of our children?
And I would love for each one of you brothers to weigh, you too. I would love for y'all to weigh in. So, and it's deep too.
Okay.
It ain't even no funny stuff. I'm gonna mess you up. I'm gonna mess you up. Yeah, I'm gonna mess you up. Now, I came from a single parent home, my mom. He comes from 2-parent household. I'm a single man with no kids. He's a family man, married with 2 daughters, 2 beautiful daughters. This is our argument. The fate of youth and young people, whether it lies in the schools or in the family. My argument or my side of it is that, my mom had to work all these jobs. She didn't have but limited truck driver knowledge. I went to school every day. So I blame the schools need to make sure that they prepare youngins, young adults, for life. And then he says, well, nah, it's the family. Because he has a different perspective, right? He says the school's gonna do the bare minimum. That's what he tell me. I'm mad at that. I don't like that because that's where I have to go and spend, going back to my own upbringing, I have to go there. The taxpayers pay for it. Some kids, that's their meal for the day.
I just saw it.
So I have to go there. Why are they not doing a better job preparing me? Why didn't I know what I wanted to do in life until much, much later? Many mistakes, much money wasted. Anyway, that's our over damn near 10-year debate between me and him is what's more important, schools or family life? And so I throw that question to each one of you. I just want to know y'all's off the top. You might change your mind later, but just off the top right now, what you believe.
You want to go this way?
Yeah. I think I'm just gonna say the village.
I'm gonna say both.
I knew he was going to.
Yeah, I gotta cheat. No, but seriously, Johnny, I'm gonna go with the education piece for a minute.
Yeah.
It's serious, man. You can't just, and every kid's different.
Yeah.
So you got to adjust the way we educate. Now, it can't be just like this is what we all do. Because I'm working with kids, and I see some kids that are getting left behind simply because they're different. It's not because they don't have talent, especially the young black people, people of color.
Yeah.
They're gonna vibe differently. You gotta connect with them different. But overall, I mean, obviously the family's important too. But I came from single mom too, so like I get that. And so it's the village, man. We need more of everything together, and I think that's probably my answer.
I like it.
I'm gonna cheat since he.
Shout out to Johnny, man. We look forward. He is at 23 West Hargett Street in downtown Raleigh, North Carolina.
And so
Black Friday market.
another part, he's like, yeah, support anything y'all need from me, right? Just continual.
Indeed,
Right?
indeed. And really that is what has strengthened us as an organization, from Y4C to the Bro Code and anything else that we do, is the power of relationships and why it's so important. So some people call it collaboration. I just call it transformational relationships, right? When you learn and understand the why of a person and there's no ill intent, then good things can't help but to happen. Because everyone's on the same wavelength and we're all working towards the same goal. And at the end of the day, for us, it's about the babies, right? It's about the youth.
Absolutely.
And making sure that we leave the world better than how we found it. Man. So if you're just checking into the Bro Code, we are right here. We're in the ring. I don't know. Did we even talk about
I was about to say, we fighting a good fight today.
Did we even talk about where we're at? I think that speaks volume in the work that we're doing as we are servants and fighters. I was telling Philip earlier, man, we had a boxing program earlier. It's direct correlation of the work that we do, right? Very intentional too.
Yeah, it was.
But we're outcasts for Christ, man. You know, all of us have our stories of our who, what, why, and now using that to impact and influence and show the love of Christ through creative ways, and that alone is a testimony. So being in this ring speaks volume to the everyday fight that we do. Good, bad, or ugly, right, wrong, and different. And I'm glad to be in that fight with you guys, man. I love y'all like cook food, bro.
Same.
Our greatest desire here at the Bro Code Show is to embrace everyone in positive, popular conversation. So no, we're not in the business of bashing or belittling anyone. But we do believe in being comfortable with having uncomfortable conversations. Why? Because that's where understanding starts. So, as we always say, we love to chew the meat and spit out the bone. Last but not least, man, we talked about business and entrepreneurship. But the last pillar is the culture. And when I talk about the culture, we talk about 27610. I got to take it back to Southgate Shopping Center, to the big homie.
Yeah.
Cap, man.
That's right.
Yeah, shout out to Caps, man. I remember doing that episode. And it was like, what was his alter ego? Fontaine. Yeah, man.
I was about to say Cisco.
Yeah, hey man, don't disrespect him like that. No thong song around here. But for sure, man, when we talk about doing it for the culture.
So somewhere I heard that you have an alter ego. And before this interview, man, we don't want to miss this one, right? Because I think everybody should have an alter ego.
Yeah,
you know what
me
I mean?
too.
Right? Right? Y'all know it wasn't me, it was my alter ego.
We got a few CK.
Indeed. CK is what ladies call it.
These dudes.
For the ladies.
So tell us a little about yours.
My alter ego name is Fontaine. But I love the old school. I love the 70s. I love black cool. Like, I think that showed a lot in that era. And I love the pimps and all that into it too, and all that kind of like put that together, and that's the character of Fontaine. Just a smooth player type guy. But yeah, I really love that character.
Okay. Like it.
I wish I could see these outfits with you in the Fontaine.
Oh yeah. When I get in Fontaine, I'm dressed to impress. I remember I went out one time and I'm with my cousin KB, and we going in, and the lady said, "Well, let me take your scarf off your neck," and I was like, "Nah, it's part of the outfit." It's part of the outfit.
We need all this player, right?
Gotta keep this on.
I love this dude. I remember when we first started Y4C in 2017. He was one of the first cats that we went to, and it was just a genuine embrace. Hey, we at Y4C have sponsored 4 families for Christmas. Right? So this Christmas we took on 4 families that have 4 to 5 in the household.
Yeah, I want to come with you for those Santa drop-offs.
Oh yeah. Southside Santa. Yeah, we coming through.
Yeah, I'll be an alpha if I got to.
Hey man, we gonna work it out, man. But spreading some love for those that are in need. We always, and we say this, we talked about this earlier, we do different, right? So we dare to be different and being personal. I bring that up because one of the individuals that came alongside with us to take one of those families on is Cap.
I saw the toys, yeah.
Captain Coco, man. So please, man, support that young brother. I love and appreciate him, and I truly believe the best is yet to come. And outside of him supporting the families that we're looking to individually love on, he's also doing and completing a toy drive. And I think part of that he put you out on social media because you just dropped off some toys, right?
Oh yeah. I had a few of my friends donate some toys as well. Shout out to Keith Thompson, Jeff Curry, Rick James. No, they came through and donated some.
Should never gave y'all money. Should never gave y'all money.
F you girls. Indeed.
Shout out to Dave Chappelle, man.
For sure.
Now I can't forget about. I guess this could squeeze into it was kind of just a dope moment all around for the month of June because we were coming up on our year anniversary, and we got a chance to interview some big hitters. One especially is Chris Broussard.
Oh man, how did I forget about that? Man, shout out to Chris Broussard, NBA analyst and the founder, visionary, and head of the King Movement.
That's right.
Absolutely.
Now he happened to get his prediction for the NBA Finals right.
He did.
With picking the Bucks, but
he did pick the Bucks.
Yeah, there were a few injuries. He didn't see that Nets loss coming, but now he dropped quite a few jewels, and it's always cool just to be in the midst of the things that he's not only doing for himself, his family, the basketball community, but just the faith-based community across this nation. And so I showed a bunch of people that episode. It was cool just to have him on talking basketball, let alone learning about his daughters and his life.
I think we put him up to who is the greatest.
That's right.
Did we say
no, we did the dope dad combo.
The combinations, right? So we had the Currys.
Oh, the players. Yeah, that's
right. We had the Currys,
Thompsons.
The Thompsons, and there was one other family.
We had the Hardaways.
The Hardaways, and then asked his opinion on that. He came from a whole nother.
Yeah, he went Walton.
He did. Yeah. Watch this clip, man. We'll bring it up.
So to celebrate Father's Day, I wanted to take a look at a handful of some of the most prominent father-son duos or trios, as the case may be, and get your opinion, Chris, on who you think were the best among the following group. Now, we have the Rivers, with Austin and Dot. You got the Hardaways, you have the Thompsons, and you have the Currys. And honorable mention to the Waltons and the Bryants and all of the other folks that might be out there, but amongst these 4, or maybe throw in somebody that I might not be thinking of. Who do you think is one of the top father-son combos in league history?
Well, I think if you break it down, you can break it down a few ways. One, who was the best father of that group? The best father of that group was Bill Walton. He obviously is a Hall of Famer. Had he not, his career not really been hampered by injuries, we would probably be talking about Bill Walton a lot more than we do. Del Curry, Michael Thompson, and who was the other one? Tim Hardaway. Tim Hardaway was obviously second best. Tim Hardaway was bad. So then let me compare the fathers to the sons. Dot better than Austin. Steph is better than Del. Tim Hardaway Sr. better than Tim Hardaway Jr. Klay Thompson better than Michael Thompson. The best player, youngster, the best son, I guess, is obviously Steph. I'm going to say that the best one is the Currys. Because number one, Dell sent 2 sons to the NBA, which is incredible. All right, that's just phenomenal to send 2 boys to the NBA. Steph has become the greatest small player, under the rim player, if you will, of all time. We can debate that if you like. But he has edged Isaiah Thomas, the legend for the Detroit Pistons, for that title. Steph is the best shooter of all time. And Steph changed the game of basketball the way we know it. And he also, on my list and many others, is the second greatest point guard of all time behind Magic Johnson. So just Steph alone, and then Steph's playing pretty well, I think puts the Currys over the top. And Dell was a sharpshooter himself. So I'm going to go with the Currys as the best father-son duo or trio in NBA history.
Yeah, I think that was great. I really do. I appreciate that episode too. We look forward to having it in person with Chris Broussard, man. We need you on the Bro Code Show. Just checking into the Bro Code Show. We are right here in the ring. We are talking about the good, bad, the ugly, the bloopers, and everything in between for 2021. I'm Bro Troy,
Bro Kirk, Bro Smith,
and we are
the Bro Code.
We'll be back. This show is sponsored by Papa Murphy's Take and Bake Pizza. Make sure to visit your local Papa Murphy's Pizza retail store near you and load up on fresh, made-to-order, gluten-free take and bake pizzas, desserts, and salads. Now make sure to use that mobile app for faster and to earn additional savings. You know, the beauty part, fellas, outside of the way that we're already marketing, is being able to provide a service. You know, not just a conversation, not just an experience, but a marketing service. So for those that would love to connect with the Bro Code Show, you can support our business and we can support your business multiple ways. Not just in 17 to 30 second commercial shot in 4K, but also voiceovers as well as images that come across the screen that can point people right to your business. With the eyeballs that are on us on YouTube as well as Instagram and Facebook, we look forward to being a service provider. You know, we call our show, our platform on YouTube, Bro Code TV Productions. It's a lot more than just conversation, but really providing that experience. And we look forward on this show not just to provide experience of conversations that are courageous and really support the community, but also can support our small businesses, those that have brands, those that have an entrepreneurial idea. So whether it's sitting down on the hot seat or bringing your advertisement up on the screen, we look forward to serving our community in that. So with that being said, fellas, man, outside of the many other ways that individuals can connect with us, if you want to be on the Bro Code Show as a guest or potentially market your business, brand, idea, or vision for your entrepreneurial endeavors, please reach out to us at 919-714-9905 or go to our Instagram at Bro Code Show. Hit us in the inbox. What's up, good people? We are back here on the Bro Code Show. We are doing a remix or rehash, whichever one you want to call it, for 2021. Fellas, we talked about a lot, but we got to take it way back, man, all the way to the beginning, man. When we started in June 2021, we had a vision, idea, but no clue. And I'll never forget the first time we were using a Bluetooth speaker and playing copywritten music over the speakers, and I was wondering why I couldn't hear it because it got flagged every time. So the conversation was never heard. Now from that, moving forward and getting comfortable on using a platform that's virtual and really challenging ourselves to move in the spirit of excellence, whether it be through pulling audio or images up, and at the end of the day, making it an experience for the people that we bring on and give them the platform to make them feel included and valued, to hear their voice and talk about the great things that they're doing. So I gotta hear from you guys, man. Like when it first started, like what did that look like? How did that feel to you? And then what does that look like now? You know, that here we are 45 episodes in from a virtual perspective. And then now it transitions, now sitting in the middle of a ring and having candid conversation with individuals that you love, man. Talk to me.
Well, I'm glad we're away from the box. You know, I had my own challenges with dust bunnies, or my dog tore my green screen. My computer would always have a blue screen of death 15 minutes before we were supposed to go on live. So I'm glad we get to come out in the real world, you know, safely, of course, interviewing our guests and truly feeling like we're a part of the experience and not just behind the screen. But we've come a long way, man.
Yeah, man. I truly believe the best is yet to come, and it's a sense of fulfillment.
I could never get my logo right. I mean, you said it to me so many times, man. And it was just like, I just couldn't get it. I just gave up. Right, man? Like, I can see it on your face, too. He's like, man, come on, man.
Just take the green screen down, bro. Don't even worry about it.
Then I ain't have enough tacks to put the green screen. I only had 3 tacks. It's just all of it. And then my daughter would walk in with her friends making noise, and I'm looking at her, I'm like, yo, I'm on screen. And she like, I live here, too, right?
He come over like, oh, man, is Kirky audio okay, man?
Can you hear me? It's like, oh man.
I missed one whole show. I don't know if y'all remember that.
He just cut off. I was like, I'll get his question.
I'm out. Hey, I never forget the time riding back. I was riding back in the car, and I was like, yo, I'm not gonna make it back. Ended up at a hotel. Like, just pulled over and went into the hotel. I was like, look, man, I have a ring light. I need to plug it in because we're gonna do a virtual show, so you guys can be my audience. They're like, okay, you know, just really that learning curve. And really, the curve was about the confidence.
Now, that was a pod or something. You said you were excited about that pod, right?
Yeah, I had never been to that. So this hotel actually had like a soundproof pod. Like all the cushions in there were soundproof. And nice seating, like you really couldn't tell that I was in the middle of a hotel. Matter of fact, that was the episode with True and Lafayette. Like,
that's right. That's good. Shout out to them.
Yeah, shout out to those fellas, man, with the King Movement, man. Love y'all like cook food, but just the whole experience of the virtual world, man. And again, that was no longer an option, but a priority based on COVID, and that's why we went that way because everyone was streaming. Right, streaming was huge, man, but the learning curve of never doing it before, but wanting to walk in the spirit of excellence. I remember being a many a nights where, you know, as the executive producer, I would write down exactly what it is that we want to accomplish, and then would take my phone, different tablets that make believe that there's different screens on it, as if we were doing the show, and preparing myself, right? And really putting in the work, man. Hard work, dedication, plus patience. Like, that is the equation. Shout out to Nip, right? Rest in peace, brother. But, you know, that is the equation. And then finding a way where we can share a voice together. And we did that over 45 times, man. So this moment right here in the ring is surreal. It's a full circle moment where we were preparing ourselves. I really believe that was just practice and preparation to perfection towards a blessing and abundance. So to me, it's, again, you know, really putting in the work. You know, really putting in the, what I do?
Nah, that's like a man moment. Right?
Did I preach? Yeah, pass the plate, baby. Hashtag, excuse me, $YM4C. That's the cash app.
Spoke to it.
Let me hear that ding.
That's the best sound. That's the best sound.
Ain't that the best
That's
sound?
the best sound ever.
Man, you be in a sound sleep, you hear that cha-ching, you say, yeah. You already know what time it is, baby. I love it, man. I love it. So if you're just checking in, man, we are right here in the middle of the ring, hashing it out about 2021 with the bros. I'm Bro Troy.
Bro Kirk. Bro Smith.
And we are the Bro Code. We'll be right back. This show is sponsored by Papa Murphy's Take and Bake Pizza. Make sure to visit your local Papa Murphy's Pizza retail store near you and load up on fresh, made-to-order, gluten-free take and bake pizzas, desserts, and salads. Now make sure to use that mobile app for faster and to earn additional savings.
Commitment by having our two first responder groups presented together as one unit here today.
Now comes one of Raleigh's newest leaders, Raleigh Police Chief Stella Patterson, riding with us here today. In addition to 25 years in law enforcement, she served as a member of the U.S. Army Reserve. Chief Patterson committed to building trust within the community and making Raleigh one of the safest cities in America.
Walking with Raleigh Police Chief Patterson today, two groups of youth, YM4C, Young Men for Christ, a program created to plant seeds of hope, love, respect, creativity, and self-worth. The second group consists of members of the RPD Safety Patrol program. These fifth grade student leaders from various Raleigh schools.
And they're bundled up. They're looking good this morning. Now, Chief Patterson, who's committed to working with youth groups and teaching young men and women to be responsible and respectful residents, has her sights.
What's going on, good people? It's your boy, Bro Troy. We're right back in the ring talking about 2021 for the Bro Code Show. We've talked about a lot, but make sure that you holler at Papa Murphy's Pizza. Go to Papa Murphy's retail store near you and load up on fresh, made-to-order, gluten-free, take and bake pizzas, desserts, and salads. Make sure to use that mobile app for faster service and to earn additional savings. Fellas, I had a surreal moment not too long ago, right? We are in the Christmas season, the season of giving, of hope, of love, of joy, and really spreading love amongst those that love you, care for you, and all that in between. I've said this before, but one of my favorite childhood movies, one of many, is Ferris Bueller's Day Off. Now, in this scene, in this movie, Ferris, this is like a super day of hooky. Like he has taken the day off, and one of the things that he got a chance to do is to go on the Macy's Day Parade. Not only did he go on the Macy's Day Parade, but he was like on the biggest float. He had a mic, he put it down, right? Maybe not to that level, but a couple weeks back, we had the pleasure, the honor of coming alongside, like we love that word, right? And it's found favor in our lives and everything that we do, but coming alongside, let me get it right, Chief Stella Patterson. That's right. Did I get it right?
Perfect. You did.
I did. I'll jack up her name.
You will jack up a night. You will.
I gotta talk about that too, man. But shout out to Chief Patterson in Raleigh, North Carolina. We got a chance to stand alongside and lead the Raleigh parade, right? The Raleigh Christmas Day parade. Man, talk to me about that. I know for me it was very surreal. I was like, again, I'm a big kid anyway, so it was a surreal moment. Really being in the moment, being present, and having some fun, man. But talk to me, man. What was that moment like for you guys?
Nah, it was cool watching it once it was all over, and yeah, you're seeing yourself on TV. You feel it when you're in the midst, but it goes by so fast. 3 miles never felt so fast in my life before. Wow. And to where you're like, man, I wish we could have just gone up a couple more blocks, just to wave and say a few more hellos. But it was cool. See yourselves on WRAL, getting in front of the camera, and just spreading joy in whatever way we could. That was pretty dope.
Yeah, and being able to share that joy with others. I think we brought almost 18 to 20 adults and children along for that experience.
Southeast Raleigh.
Yeah, Southeast Raleigh. Yeah, indeed, man. What you think, bro, Kirk?
It was a little surreal.
Yeah.
You're walking and you're like, people are looking at you. I mean, it was thousands of people, right? It's like,
it's true.
I've been to parades, but I've been on the other side just watching. And so just felt honored to be a part of it. For her to call out and let's be a part of it, man.
That's right. And being intentional.
Yeah, it was long. I was surprised how long it was because we stopped. Went to eat, came back, and it was still going on. I was like, wow, this is a big deal.
And people were still out there, like supporting, waving. So that is a big deal, man. And I truly look forward to, next year doing bigger and better things. But I think that's an important to not glance over one of the pillars that we talked about in that, which is that in community engagement and really making sure that we bridge gaps in the community. It started with, we talked about Chief Patterson, but we've been blessed, right, to have the opportunity to work with every chief of police in the RDU area. Even virtually, and please correct me if I'm wrong, I believe at the time, now she's in Durham, but we had Patrice Andrews.
That's right. Mooresville. Yep.
At the time, she was the chief of police in Mooresville, now in Durham. Shout out to you, Patrice Andrews. We need you on the Bro Code show. In person. Right now, we get the chance to do it just a little different.
We go to her.
Yeah, that's it.
We'll come to you.
Exactly. We also got a chance to now newly in Apex, but nonetheless now an official bro. Shout out to Chief Jason Armstrong in Apex, North Carolina. Shout out to you, Chief Armstrong. We had a chance to go straight to the precinct, right there in Apex, and shoot live, man. And I don't think it stops there. Right? I believe that we've also had an opportunity to connect, and he's no longer there now. They have a new chief of police in Knightdale, but it was Chief Zudema at one time. Not Knightdale, in Gardner. And then in Knightdale, we have Chief Capps, Lawrence Capps, man. Shout out to Chief Capps. So the work that we do with YM4C now tying into the Bro Code still transcends as it pertains to those courageous conversations and really getting the support of the community. So truly believe that the best is yet to come, man.
Yeah, many of them, I think, came out to that church. And we did a seminar.
Barbershop talk. So we turned the barbershop talk into a remix during COVID because barbershops were shut down, and we used Faith Baptist Church.
That's right, Faith Baptist Church.
And to your point, we had all of the officers and a lot of the officers and Chief of Police there, and Chief Capps was there. A lot of the officers from Wendell and Zebulon area. So we were able to continue the work even through the pandemic.
Yeah, it was fun.
Being able to continue those courageous conversations similar to what we're doing now. So again, this isn't a hobby, this is a lifestyle. This is what we do. This thing that we call a code or Bro Code is something that we live. It's not just something that we call a show, but it's something that we do daily to leave the world better than how we found.
We didn't talk about Mayor.
Oh man,
right? Was that the first virtual? That wasn't the first virtual.
Nah, it wasn't the first virtual, but I believe it was one. He was
the first solo.
Yeah.
Because I was in Mexico.
Yeah, I was driving back from New Orleans that day.
So that was the first in-person show. Jock. Now he'd been on a virtual show with us before.
That's right. Yeah.
Right. Shout out to Jock Gilbert, Mayor Gilbert, out in Apex, North Carolina. Man, love you like cooked food. But yes, that was the first time that we took our equipment and traveled right into the mayor's office and sat down and had a couch conversation, sit-down conversation with Mayor Gilbert. And though I was solo dolo, man, I have to say that again, that too was surreal. I missed you guys. And definitely look forward to, I think the second time we did that is with Chef Daniel Scher, at Second Empire Tavern and Restaurant in downtown Raleigh, North Carolina. 5-star restaurant, might I say.
That's right.
That we've had the pleasure of not just doing a broadcast in for the Bro Code, but maybe 1, 2, 3.
I said at least 3.
3 times have sat down and chewed the meat and spit out the bone and had positive, popular conversation over a 5-star meal. And not just doing it with adults, kids too.
That's right. Kids along.
Yeah. So shout out to Kim Reynolds, who's the owner of Second Empire Restaurant. We appreciate you, and we look to bigger and better things in 22. So fellas, we talked about a lot, man. I think one of the things that really stood out to me from last month, from virtual and really transcending, is not just the chief of police, not just what went on with Second Empire and continuing that relationship in the community, but there was one last one. What was the last one? I forgot just that fast.
One that we shot already?
Yeah, there was one last conversation that really stuck out.
I thought you were talking about being on the set for the mural.
Yeah.
Oh, how could we skim over that?
Yeah, like that.
So not too long ago, a little over a week ago, or earlier this month, we had an opportunity to set up live on the corner of Hargett Street in Salisbury.
That's right.
When we talk about community engagement, when we talk about being a pillar in the community, we were able to be on the unveiling of the Lavelle mural, Lavelle Moten mural.
Shout out.
Corner, shout out to Lavelle, man. And in North Carolina Central University in Durham, North Carolina. Men's basketball coach. Man. HBCU, not just any coach, but the coach. Was it the third winningest?
And NC Central.
At Central?
Yeah, 300 wins.
300 wins, right? We're talking about a man that has established relationships not just on the court, but off the court. And is a resident of Lane Street, right here in Southeast Raleigh. 27610, stand up. So, on that corner though, it wasn't just LaVelle though, bro. Like this was it's his mural, right? But hey man, great people travel in packs.
Oh yeah.
You know, so in this one parking lot, if you may, right? That's where the mural is at. In downtown Raleigh. Not only did we get a chance to hang out with LaVelle, but we also got a chance to hang out with Poobie.
His whole team.
And who's a mentor, who LaVelle's a mentor, his mentor, right? Also played at Central and Enloe, and now coaching at Enloe. But it doesn't stop there. You know, this mural was designed by Adam Williams, right? Who also works for WRAL. Shout out to Adam. We look forward to getting you on the Bro Code Show soon. And then was the artist and painted by himself too, man. Like it really shocked me. Was it Sean Kernick?
That's right.
Yeah.
3 weeks.
Yeah,
that's good. That's 2
times.
times.
But yes, man, I really am excited about being in the midst. But it didn't stop there, man. You know, I know we had a blooper reel. We'll probably show it on the show too. You can't help but to show the lighter side of the things that we do. But one of the many wonders, I guess you could say, that we had an opportunity to hang out with was good old Professor Patrick DeWitt.
That's right.
AKA Ninth Wonder.
I thought you were gonna screw it up.
Well, I already did that. I'm quite sure.
Ninth Water. He did. How do you say water?
I was in the moment, man. I was in the moment.
He was thirsty.
He thought it was funny though, man.
He did.
Thought it was funny.
He did. Yeah, he did. And we even turned it into that might be a good play. On a potential entrepreneurial endeavor. But nonetheless, man, it was really surreal to give opportunity to hear such a juggernaut, not just with music, but just period. You know, this is a gentleman that transitioned from NC State. I remember you guys were talking a little bit about those moments. Who was that Planet Smoothie?
That's where he worked and lived in the apartments right above it.
Yeah, man. So transitioning from that to being a world-renowned, working with Jay-Z, working with Hov, and many others, and then now taking that knowledge and giving it back to others in the form of having classes at Central and also at Duke.
He got really excited about that Planet Smoothie conversation Jay brought up.
Yeah.
I mean, he was like, whoa, wait. People forget.
That's absolutely right.
Right?
Yeah, it started from the bottom. Yeah, now we here from the dirt, right? No different than how and why we're sitting right here right now. You know, this started with a $25 mic from Amazon. You know, and now here we are in front of equipment that we prepared ourselves to ask good questions to get good answers.
Yeah.
That's really what it comes down to, fellas. So that's definitely yet to come, man. As we move forward coming into 22, man, we want to talk about next is like, how does that feel? How did it feel now to transition to doing it in person? And what does that look like as we come into 22? What are some things that we can look forward to? What are some things that are already booked as we continue to move forward in 2022? It's your boy, Bro Troy.
Bro Kirk. Bro Smith.
And we are
the Bro Code.
We'll be back. This show is sponsored by Papa Murphy's Take and Bake Pizza. Make sure to visit your local Papa Murphy's Pizza retail store near you and load up on fresh, made-to-order, gluten-free take and bake pizzas, desserts, and salads. Now make sure to use that mobile app for faster and to earn additional savings. What's up, good people? It's your boy, Bro Troy, a.k.a. Mr. Y4C, but better known as Coach TJ. We're right back here in the ring, rehashing it out about 2021. Fellas, we talked a little bit about breaking out of that box, like coming from that virtual space, and now here we are in the middle of a boxing ring. And how that shift and transition has moved forward, pushed us, unctioned us, and really grew us as brothers, as a code, as family. And really reflecting that on screen. But one of the things that came through that maturity was the ability to market for others. See, we've created not just a voice for ourselves, but a platform and a voice for others. Oh, yeah. And that's organic, man. That is something that is unique. Kind of like that $2 bill.
Yeah.
So with the marketing, man, I remember when we were on virtual and we had little pictures on the bottom of the screen and we weren't really quite sure how to put the boxes in there so you could see it. And we went from that and not really understanding how that works to shooting commercials in 4K. Beauty about that is it's not just about us, but we have our first sponsor, our first corporate sponsor in Papa Murphy's Pizza.
Yeah, shout out.
Shout out to Papa Murphy's Take and Bake Pizza. Make sure to go to your retail store to stock up on Take and Bake Pizza from Papa Murphy's. So being able to grasp onto that and really in its fullness and use that as an investment for the tools that you see in front of us, all right? For, the swag that we have on our backs. And really branding this now, ain't nobody knows. But using that as a tool to show the progression, man. How does that feel? Like, what does that look like? And now, how do we, and what can viewers, other businesses, entrepreneurs, those that have a brand or an idea that are looking for a dope opportunity to market their business, they can now leverage the space of the Bro Code as we walk in the spirit of excellence. But fellas, how does that feel, man?
Man, it's difficult to find the words. It's for one, just to be in these dope spots and have that as the backdrop and represent their business to the work that we're doing, whether it was at the Vault, BLC Gallery, here at Wade's Gym. That's a wonderful opportunity to spotlight others while bringing forth the conversation. But the best is yet to come. You know, I'm looking forward to the day where we go on, long vacations, not vacations, but long trips in an effort to promote the work that we do.
Indeed, and the best is definitely yet to come. Delayed gratification, man. So I love it, man. What are your thoughts, Kirk?
I didn't see it coming. Not that part. Now I'm a visionary too, but I was thinking more speaking engagement, whatever, something like that. But for people reaching out, saying, do this for me. Can you come and work with me live? It's exciting, bro.
Yeah, you made a great point. Before the Bro Code show started, we were doing a lot of that community work. And the thought process, the goal, or the drive was, all right, we're going to develop something valuable and then now be asked to come speak, right? In groups of people because of the work, the sacrifice, and the dedication that we put into being servant leaders. And really, again, not really understanding that the voice is always important, but how the voice would amplify. Right? We didn't understand that. And then all of a sudden we start this show called the Bro Code Show. You know what's dope about that is, again, we always talk about value having a price tag. And now we go from overlooked to overbooked. That's a good feeling, though. So much so now when we talk about what's next, right? Because we got to let our viewers know what's next for the Bro Code Show. Outside of us having courageous conversations and really humanizing people, showing the heart of the work that they do on multiple levels: the code, the voice, the community, and really giving a platform for those to feel, comfortable having those conversations. But now, February of 2022, fellas, we talked about speaking things into existence, and I'll never forget this day. We were like, hey man, wrote it down too. I was like, man, this time next year we'll be traveling to speak. And then a week later I got a phone call, right? And remember, we laugh about this, Kirk. We say, man, sometimes people joke and say, man, you post too much. Man, you always on social media, man. Why are you always on social media? You tag me in everything, right? And we joke about that amongst ourselves. We do, right? And in good fun. But I get this phone call and someone says, I hear a voice on the other line that says, hey, I saw what you guys are doing on Facebook. I love the candor. I love the camaraderie. I love the love that you guys show on camera. We want to book you, all of you guys, to come to Charlotte, North Carolina. So we look forward moving into 2022, again, going from overlooked to overbooked. I speak that is just the beginning of many to come, where we'll be able to disseminate and really navigate conversations on multiple levels, on multiple rooms with multiple people.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
Indeed, man. So, here on the Bro Code Show, we've talked a lot about our mission, our why, and coming into 2022, that our 3 pillars of our mission are the code, the community, and the voice. Using that voice to amplify the voices of others and show courageous conversations right here in the hot seat with the Bro Code Show, right? Why? Because we do differently. So if you're just checking in with the Bro Code Show, we've wrapped up a lot of the conversations and new things, ideas, visions as it pertains to the Bro Code Show in 2021 and talking about what's next for 2022. I'm Bro Troy.
Bro Kirk.
Bro Smith.
And we are
Bro Code.
The beauty part, fellas, outside of the way that we're already marketing, is being able to provide a service. Not just a conversation, not just an experience, but a marketing service. So for those that would love to connect with the Bro Code Show, you can support our business and we can support your business multiple ways. Not just in 17 to 30 second commercial shot in 4K, but also voiceovers as well as images that come across the screen that can point people right to your business. With the eyeballs that are on us on YouTube as well as Instagram and Facebook, we look forward to being a service provider. We call our show, our platform on YouTube, Bro Code TV Productions. See, it's a lot more than just conversation, but really providing that experience. And we look forward on this show, not just to provide experience of conversations that are courageous and really support the community, but also can support our small businesses, those that have brands, those that have an entrepreneurial idea. So whether it's sitting down on the hot seat or bringing your advertisement up on the screen, we look forward to serving our community in that area. So with that being said, fellas, man, outside of the many other ways that individuals can connect with us, if you want to be on the Bro Code Show as a guest or potentially mark your business, brand, idea, or vision for your entrepreneurial endeavors, please reach out to us at 919-714-9905 or go to our Instagram at Bro Code Show. Hit us in the inbox.